I want to share a quick story with you about why we ended up selling all of our rental properties. So it was 2016 or so when we got started in real estate. Really what happened was I was working my first big boy official job fresh out of college, and I just was kind of broke. It was mostly out of desperation. I just needed some more money. And so I'd always heard that real estate was kind of this holy grail for passive income, and it was just a really good business opportunity. So I bought my first house hack. I had some friends move in with me, and it worked out great because they ended up, paying the whole mortgage on my entire property. So that was pretty great. The whole end goal of everything was I really wanted to make around $10,000 a month. That would have been that was the pinnacle. If I reach $10,000 a month, this is going to be amazing. I can quit my job. I can live this really nice, comfortable, bougie life. And so that was kind of my goal. And so from 2016 until about 2022, I did that. We started buying just one rental at a time, and then we would run out of money. And so we would do a flip here or there, sell the flip property or the flip project, and then use the proceeds from that for the down payment to buy another rental property. So we kept doing that, and we kept growing and growing and growing. And over the course of about 6 years or so, we had built up a portfolio of around 40 or 45 units. Not a massive portfolio, but it's still, pretty decent size. And the funny thing is, when you have 1 or 2 units, maybe even 4, 5, 6 units, you're like, whoa, this is awesome, because you get these checks every month, but you don't have enough units or enough properties where you're constantly getting bombarded with maintenance requests and evictions or late payments or things like that. It's just a couple, so it's really easy to manage. But when we got up to that 40 or 45 unit range, it started to wear on us because we had to hire kind of a full-time handyman who would just deal with all the different maintenance issues and everything for all the different properties. It just, I don't know, it adds up over time. And so I remember looking at my QuickBooks one day, and we had actually ended up surpassing the $10,000 a month goal that we had, and we had hit $12,000. And the weird thing is, instead of feeling euphoric or wow, I had climbed the mountain and I had finally achieved this goal that I was working so hard for, I kind of felt almost sick to my stomach. I'm the money's great, but what it represents, what I have to do to make this money, I just didn't really love it. So in 2022, or actually, no, 2021, it was kind of peak COVID time, everything was really shut down. We were working on a flip project, and just about everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. It was delay after delay after delay. We had a painter who stole $10,000 from us. It was just it was a whole fiasco. And we ended up selling that project after about 14 months. And basically we broke even. We maybe made $1,200 on it after 14 months of hard work. And man, it was a nightmare. I won't go into it. The property turned out beautiful. I mean, it was a beautiful project, but it just took forever and we made no money. But I remember looking at the settlement statement when that was all done, all completed, the project had sold, and I was looking down at the line items, and I noticed that my hard money lender made $25,000, 25 grand on that property, and we made 1,200. And I had all these sleepless nights. I had all these different contractors and deadlines and project, just trying to manage the whole project. And this guy, he just loaned the money, and that was it. It was just a dream come true. He just got a check. And so when I looked at that and he made 25 times what I did, I was like, whoa, I need to look into this more. Beginning about 2022, we decided to pivot away from rentals full-time and move into hard money lending, and that's what we do now. And it has been so great. We ended up selling all of our properties, which we cashed out around $2 million in equity. It was a hefty tax bill, but I don't really regret it, to be honest. I really don't, because my lifestyle now is so much easier, so much more passive. And some people are like, well, just get a property manager or all those things, but it still doesn't fully alleviate the stress on your mind. Yeah, they deal with the day-to-day, but for me, it was just I still had all this overhead. For example, I still had the capital expenditures to worry about. I still had to worry about the roofs being replaced at some point in the future. And I just don't know that I really believe in property managers. They do fine, but they just don't take care of the properties like you would yourself. So anyway, we ended up selling all of our properties, cashing out that equity, and just moving it exclusively into hard money lending. I can tell you now, rather than the $10,000 to $12,000 a month we were making, we're now making $20,000 to $25,000 per month, way more passively. I write up some docs, I send the funds, and then in 6 to 8 months, the project pays off and I get a fat interest check. And that interest is significantly more than the rent that I would have made. And people are like, sure, what about depreciation and principal pay down and all those things, like, I don't care. I really don't. Like, depreciation, I don't really believe in, because you're only getting to write it off temporarily. You still have to pay it all back unless you keep this property until you die, which I don't want to do that. I would rather die than keep this property. It just sounds like hell. So there's pros and cons for sure. But for me and my lifestyle, I just really prefer wiring the money and then collecting interest. It's a dream come true. That's kind of a long story, but hopefully it helps kind of encapsulate why we have moved away from the rentals and into hard money. I think it's a dream come true. I highly recommend becoming a hard money lender, just because it fits my lifestyle. I'm like, now I have location freedom. I don't have to like be tied down to these properties, because we can lend on properties all over the country. So it's just worked out really well. So anyway, that's it. If you have any questions about hard money, let me know. I'd be happy to make some videos or help out any way I can. And I'll catch you next week.